Hi folks, my name is Willow, and this is a little bit of explaining the madness. I'm going to start doing some videos about rebuilding my RV. Um, so, as I said, my name is Willow. There should be some disclaimers here. Firstly, bad language. I will do my best to curtail it. However, I am only human, and we all slip up. Secondly, uh, this is definitely a madness-fueled thing, in my opinion, because you have to be a certain amount of mad, crazy, eccentric to even venture into some of the things that I intend to do. Um, Thirdly, you're human, you're fallible, but you are capable of many, many things that you do not give yourself credit for because we are our own worst enemies. Now, um, I have a large skill set because I get bored easy, or because I have ADD, or because I'm insanely curious, or the combination thereof. Um, I've done many, many, many things in my life. Uh, but my only limitation has been physical health, and certainly not imagination nor sure will, because I'm still here. And I'll get into that in the background part of this madness, but this is just the introduction to me. I like to say that I am a raging bitch with conticidal tendencies. See, there's that bad language. So it's just a really eccentric way of me saying that I think I'm different. Um, I say things like you should live your life with a deep-seated passion that would set ice cubes afire, because that's what I believe I should do. I believe I should live a life I don't need a vacation from. That being said, I also do this thing in life called what I want, and I'm probably not going to stop that till I'm dead. Uh, but I'm very tenacious, and hopefully that doesn't put too many of you off. I realize I'm not everybody's shot of whiskey. Um, And that's okay. I don't need to be. I am very happy in the cold, dark alone with no hope of light from another human soul because I like who and what I am. Again, I think I'm different. Um, know that just because I have a large skill set doesn't mean that it is why I can do what I'm fixing to show you that I'm doing. Um, the important part to remember is that if I haven't offended you yet, I'm sure I'll get to you eventually. It'll be all right. So here's an important side note. I'm not going to apologize for how I look, because as a cancer patient, I haven't interacted with people since 2019, unless it was a medical professional, and my body tried to, uh, you know, well, my meat suit tried to give up a couple weeks ago, and I had a cyst that abscessed and ruptured, and it landed me in the hospital. In that experience, going down the mountain and going to the hospital, somewhere along the way I was exposed to COVID. 10 days after the initial hospital visit, I was put into ICU with COVID. I am now home for 4 days. Yes, 4 days out of the hospital from my meat suit trying to give up on me. And that's okay. If my meat suit gives up, it gives up. One of my favorite writers, Anne Bishop, wrote the Black Jewel series, and in it she describes the demon dead. And I agree with her. There are demon dead. I think I'm one of them. I was either too angry or too stupid to know I had died, so I just kept going. And I'm going to just keep going in this. If my meat suit gives up, so be it. But this is a journey that I desire to take to make my life better, and therefore I'm a bitch on a mission, and ain't nothing going to deter me. I'm not going to give up, even if I get sick, because, well, you know, if I'd given up when I got sick, I'd have been dead in 1997. And, well, I'm still here. That being said, I'm not apologizing for how I look. This isn't about how I look. This is about my journey in rebuilding my RV and making my life better. And hi, guys, this is me with COVID. 4 days out of the hospital, 4 days out of ICU. And if I can do this sick, you can do anything. Another one of those side notes, folks. Uh, I was reviewing some of the footage, and I noticed that when walking around, you see a lot of storage tuppers and what have you, and there's going to be a lot of questions of, are you a prepper, this, that, and the other. And so first off, let me head those off by saying, am I a prepper? Yes, I am. I didn't know I was a prepper until probably 15 years in to being a prepper. I'm also convinced that I starved in a previous life. So a lot of those tuppers you see in in these videos are full of food. I refuse to go hungry now. And one thing that you should know about the RV rebuild is I am dedicating a lot, and I do mean a lot, of storage space in this for food because I refuse to be hungry. Part of that is because I was a 369-pound Marine with 3% body fat, and now I do not weigh 120 pounds. So I don't like being hungry, and a lot of the things that you're going to see in the background and off to the side, I'm not promoting any of those products or any of that stuff. These are things I use in my personal life for me, and keep your opinions about it to yourself because I don't care. It's just like at this point in my life with, technically 4 kinds of cancer and everything. If the doctors haven't convinced me to quit doing what I'm doing, you're not gonna. So I smoke, and I smoke pot, and I eat what I want. And you're going to see those things in the backgrounds of the videos, and if they offend you, then stop watching now. So this guy is my fat cat. He's my oldest companion on this journey, but it's important for me to note that I do have these 2 lovely support animals. They're both service animals. They trigger on multiple of my health conditions, but they are on this journey with me and have traveled with me their entire lives. But because they are on this journey with me, they are being considered in the build. So it's important for them to get an introduction. The dog is my ninja dog. She's completely deaf. Neither one of these animals were intended to be service animals. They just decided to make themselves service animals. So they are definitely being considered in this build. So this is my emotional support orc. My husband, my lovely Fluffy. More of that prepping stuff we talked about. He's going through and rotating food stock. So here's the most important introduction. This is the 1980 Chevy G30 Class C motorhome that I purchased to rebuild. I call her Luna. She is she's my dream, so therefore the moon brings me the best dreams, and I named her Luna. But this is her, and I figured since we were talking about her, and this is all about her, that I would introduce her. This is the original drive cab, of course. In the introduction to the Maddness, I spoke of the spaghetti monster that is being put in by a certified mechanic, and all of the new pieces and parts that went into the engine compartment. So now let's introduce you to the rest of her. More of the spaghetti monster. Again, certified mechanic, can't preach it enough. And what is left. And we have started to rebuild. This is the original wood bump out because it was in the only piece of wood in here that didn't have some kind of serious water damage. I kept it. I left it as is. Putting the underpinning of the nose back up. This is a buttle tape that I am using to seal all of the seams. Or buttrell tape, sorry folks. And then of course I'm screwing everything to the underframe. This layer right here is a solar reflective layer, so it's a part of the insulation layer that I'm putting in, and then this is a 5mm auto insulation, sound dampening, yada yada. There's some of that lovely angle iron that I talked about wrapping everything in so we had stuff to screw to. My floor, it's my floor, it's a beautiful floor. The wheel boxes, there's a little shimming that needs to be done to that so that they can have the final, securing screw together. But again, I put this angle here around everything. The flashing I talked about in Intro to the Maddness, the wood that I coated in the sealer, some lights that I intend to put in, and of course the wiring harness that's being put in. On that floor right there is the roll of the solar reflective. So what I did, right, wrong, or indifferent, was go and purchase a house wrap for when you're building your house that reflects the solar heat. It's something they put in your attic, and that's going directly against the outside aluminum. I don't know if it'll work, but that's what I'm doing, and I'm gonna see and give it a try. And then, of course, I went with the auto heat barrier or thermal barrier insulation because with the sound dampening, because I intend for it to be mobile, and I wanted it to be light, and I wanted the walls to be thinner. Cutting the wall thickness in half. This is the product that I used for the floor that I laid. I traded somebody something I made, and they gave me this out of it, so, you know, it was free to me. And then, of course, I'm reconditioning all of the windows that were in it, putting in new screens, because I don't have the money to replace that. I'm cushy, so the carpet that will wind up, that is in it, is got 3 layers of these carpet foam padding underneath it, because I'm cushy, and if I'm going to lay on it, then I'm going to make sure it's soft. This is, you know, just walking you around the outside of her and what exists of her right now, because we have just started rebuilding this. I used the 3/4 inch birch plywood, again, that I used in the wheel boxes for this piece up here, so that's one solid piece instead of sandwich boarded together, yada yada. And of course, it's got the angle iron. And now we are starting to put the subframe in with the wood, we bent all of this metal ourselves. I bought the extruded pieces at 96 inches, knowing that my ceiling was only 80 inches off of the floor. So that I had, you know, room to cut and bend and bracket and all of that stuff. So that nose piece is going in beautifully. Tomorrow we'll be framing out the window here and putting up probably the door, finishing the door frame, because that got a piece to go in there, and then a bracket that goes here for the top of the frame and what have you. But yeah, this is where we're at with her. I love her. She's all mine. She's beautiful, and she's going to be fabulous. There's that beautiful engine I had talked about in Intro to the Maddness. But yeah, this is where we stand in the build.